Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we're still a little salty at Free India, but we'll see what we get out of the peace deal. They're fighting over here with Majapahit, and that's fine. They can keep them busy. We'll maybe steal something from the peace deal, but we have a naval invasion going on over here that won't happen for a little while yet. When are these guys going to be done? They are going to be done in 50 days. Okay, so that'll be some time. And of course, we are still working on attacking over here. Now, we're planning a naval invasion over here, and that will be done very, very shortly. Yeah, in just a few days here. So that's great. We'll be able to hopefully grab Granada away from them and then cut these guys off. We have naval superiority here. In fact, full naval supremacy. So they should not be receiving supplies through these bases. So we'll be able to cut this off and then attack up through here. They have a ludicrous number of units. There's no doubt about that. But once we have this back, we'll be in a much better position over here. Of course, we're also attacking over here, and we're telling our paratroopers to pretend to be Marines. I'm sure that's going to go great. I don't know what could possibly go wrong there. Do we need to do any additional prospecting? Not currently. We're doing pretty well on that front. In fact, let's look at our resources here. Not great. Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll continue to get there. Whoa, that was quite a submarine skating sideways into here. Or actually, that was a rocket skating sideways into here. Exciting. Okay, so what's going on over with Majapahit? Free India is, at this point, holding them off mostly. Actually, Free India is losing ground here. I don't hate that, honestly. We'll get the Caribbean cleaned up. If Free India is still losing ground at that point, we'll come in and help them. Of course, we do have these invasions planned, and those will happen relatively soon. What's our naval supremacy over here look like? Yeah, we need some of that. Some of that sweet, sweet naval supremacy. Let's go ahead and grab from the West Emperor chain, and we will assign them over to this area, and then remove from the West Emperor chain, and then also the North Emperor chain. We'll move these guys over to the Timor Sea. This is no longer necessary. I want to remove them from the North Emperor chain, thank you very much. Okay, they already were. Perfect. And then I don't think we need these guys in the Western North Pacific either. We'll move them over to the Java Sea. Excellent. Coast of Japan is good enough for right now. Okay. So let's check in on these naval invasions. They should be executing, or executable at least, pretty soon. This one will be in... Wait, it can actually happen now? Wait, I'm confused. What just happened? Did we just... Oh, we got stack wiped up here. That's a thing. I didn't expect that to happen. Okay. Well, that's fine, I suppose. We'll go ahead and execute this. Go on. Get in there. Hopefully we'll be able to land on Granada before they get there. They're attempting to get there now, as we speak. If we grab Granada... Ooh, they're going to hold us off, I think. That's awkward. Yeah, we're going to bounce here. There's no doubt about that. Well, we're going to continue pushing in over this way, I suppose, and doing what we can. This invasion is going to be very risky if we do this. Our paratroopers will probably die. That's okay. Yeah, we're getting repulsed here. That's to be expected, to be fair. They have just so many troops here. I'm actually baffled by how they have this much available manpower with their given territory. Like, that is a little bit shocking to me. Considering, like, 9 million? That's an absurd amount. Oh well. We'll take them out eventually. I wonder how much they have stockpiled. Maybe we should tag in there sometime just to see. Like, maybe at the end of this episode, but that would be fascinating to just see how they're doing that. I mean, I'm sure they're on total mobilization. Yeah, all adults serve. Effective total manpower, they've got some draft dodging going on here. They're only gaining 8,000 recruitable per month, though. So that's interesting. But yeah, we definitely lost these islands over here to Naval Invasions, and that was kind of the end of this. That's to be expected, I suppose. We're just going to continue hitting this, though, if we can. Do these guys re-attack, I wonder? I'm not sure if they do or not. But we can just keep the pressure on over here. And that's completely fine. As long as we're keeping the pressure on, it should be okay. But they must have massive equipment shortages, right? Like, they can't have that many military factories. That said, this is all amphibious, so we're gonna struggle with that. There's no doubt about that. At any rate, let's check in over here. These guys are very close to prepared. They have about 10 more days. And these guys, they are making progress. They have about a few more days as well. We'll not have them go off at first. Free India is definitely getting pushed back here. But that's, I think, mostly because they were unexpected. They were unexpected, this attack. Okay, in naval map mode, we can see that we're doing better over here now. That's great. Not so great up here, but we expect that. Naturally. Some Japanese ships moving around over here, which is a little strange because they have no territory and have capitulated, but okay. Or actually, they do have territory. It's over here. They're losing the territory to Free India, but that's okay. It looks like Free India has now properly responded to this. And I would expect Free India to take Brunei at this point. Okay, these guys are almost ready to go. Almost. We do have an unassigned division here, and we're going to start working on a fresh army over here. Okay, so only those 2 units for now, and we'll put this guy in charge of it. And for now, we'll just have him come over here and area defense. That'll be fine. We definitely should have area defense this backline. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so we are not ready for this naval invasion just yet. There are no divisions assigned to this invasion. We can assign them in, and they do immediately go again. Okay. I mean, they can try. They're not going to succeed. But they can try. And this naval invasion is almost ready. This one over here should be ready, right? Yeah, it's currently going. Fantastic. So we're going to land on Tahiti. They do have some troops in the area. But we'll see if it's enough to hold this off. We do have free dockyards right now. Let's go ahead and get ourselves additional submarines under production. Wonderful. Free India is making some progress over here. That's more than we can say about the Caribbean, I suppose. But I'm a little shocked that these guys have as many troops as they do. Kind of baffling to me. Like, they have an insane quantity. Okay. I mean, we could just try to put in additional troops up here, right? We could move in a full army group, in theory. And that might be something that we want to do, is make this be a full army group, have these guys come out of here, these guys enter the army group, and just try to push in with the entire thing. What are our supplies like up here for that? 90 out of 94? Okay. Well, we're going to be landing on Tahiti shortly. We're actually winning this battle, which is slightly surprising. And we're going to land over here pretty unopposed, it looks like. We're currently winning. We expect it to last another 17 days. We're going to land over here, and then we're going to support this attack. with these guys as soon as they arrive, which will be momentarily. Anytime now. There we go. In we go. We'll support the attack. Excellent. So we expect that that will end up in our favor very shortly. Now over here, yeah, I think that we just put a full army group up here. Like, we can start work on just 1 million naval bases up here. Actually, we've already maxed those out. Sure. Okay. And that's completely fine as well. So yeah, we can just start work on preparing for that. And we can just do a big ol' attack over here. Like, we can delete this naval invasion. I don't think this naval invasion is ever going to succeed right now with their level of garrisoning. But if we take Antigua, that is a huge, huge deal. Their capital will shift to Granada at that point. But even so, I'm reasonably content with that. Let's check in over here. This battle is still ongoing. They're not ready yet. 2 more days. Less than a day. Should wrap up very, very, very shortly. I'm actually going to move these guys into this force. There we go. And Tahiti has fallen. Perfect. We'll go ahead and delete this. This naval invasion is no longer necessary. And then we'll reassign these guys up over here. So what we're going to do at this point is I want to check every single one of these. So these guys are located down over here. Let's make sure we're out of that. These guys are located down here. These guys are located in Tahiti. These guys are up here. These guys are up here as well. And these guys are also up here. Okay. We're going to delete all orders. We're going to delete these orders. We're going to delete all of these orders. We're going to delete these orders. Okay. Now, this army group is going to have an army group front line right here. And then an army group offensive line right like that. And it will go ahead and aggressively execute that. We're just going to throw a lot of troops at them. Like, a whole lot of troops. We are going to need additional supplies in this area. Now, we are currently supplying in air supply. We may want to move our transport wing over to this airbase, as well as our close air support wing over to here. We'll assign our close air support to these guys. This transport wing will also move over to here. That's a rocket wing. Okay. Okay. So we do have some close air support over here. I'm interested in pulling additional close air support up over this direction. We'll move them up here as well, and we'll attach them to this force. Okay. Let's make sure that we have that close air support under control. Wonderful. These guys should already be here. Yes, they are. So with that air support, we should, in theory, be doing better. And we also want to make sure that our supplies over here are increasing a little bit. Now, we don't have access to infrastructure construction here. We've got our naval bases essentially maxed out. So this is about all the supplies that we can bring in right now. Now, we'll pull out our paratroopers eventually, but I want to attack this just as hard as we can. Let's check in on Brunei. Free India has kind of stalled out. I'm assuming they're going to bring in more troops. Or they're just planning on landing elsewhere? I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, these are garrison troops over here. That's fine. Yeah, this is doing a little bit better over here. I'm concerned about supplies up here for sure. Unfortunately, we just don't have that many provinces for naval bases, right? But I'm interested in just tearing through their reinforcements here. We have almost 10 times the monthly recruitable growth that they do, so I'm okay just attritioning through this. It may take a very long time, but that is acceptable. So all of these guys should be making their way over to here, and indeed they are. No, they're not ready yet. Let's check in on our air superiority over here. What is that like? In the Caribbean Sea. Yeah, we have full air superiority here with just close air support. So that's perfect. And the question is, what is actually going on here? So we see 3 divisions fighting 2 divisions, and there's just a ludicrous number of reserves on both sides. That's expected, of course. And yeah, we're very much struggling to get in there because of the supply. And that's expected, of course. We need to boost this supply somehow, but we don't really have the command power. So that's the thing. That is certainly a thing. They have 141 total supply over here. Yeah, I mean, I do think that eventually we'll push through here. If we take a look at the manpower over here, we can see they're at 9.12 to 9.32, but they're at full manpower deployment, right? So their manpower is declining extremely slowly. We see that they're at 9.22 now. And that's just going to continue to come down as they reinforce. Whereas our manpower will hold relatively stable, or maybe even go up a little bit. Maybe. I wouldn't necessarily mind... Actually, we're seeing that we're starting to win these attacks. Yeah, we're being attacked as frequently as we're attacking them. In fact, we're attacking them super constantly. If we look down here, we can see that they have 4 levels of damaged infrastructure. That's not helping us, in all honesty. However, I'm interested in reducing their supplies, although this is their capital, so they may always have full supplies here. It's definitely something to note. They're not garrisoning this location. This is the one place that they're not. I'm wondering what we can do with this rocket wing that's over here. Rockets can't be transferred between transfer sites. Okay. Well, what's the range of them? I don't know. However, I would be very interested in seeing what we can do with these. Ah, we have 101 out of 100 rockets here. I would love to lob some rockets at Antigua. Strategic bombing. That's what they can do. Makes sense. So let's do some strategic bombing over Antigua. We'll see what we can get there. Okay, looks like we are firing these rockets. And the question is, how exactly is that doing? Mission efficiency is at 100%. Okay. So hopefully that'll do some damage. I would not mind taking out some of their military factories in this area. That would definitely be a good thing for us. But we are definitely starting to see that this is turning a little bit, and we're starting to win this. So that is great. If we can push them out of Antigua, that is a huge, huge deal for us. We get access to additional naval bases, and we get access to a victory point for supply purposes. Now, we're not that much oversupply. But even so, this would be a huge, huge deal for us. Can we do any additional work on prospecting? That's a negative. Okay, fair enough. How's Free India doing in Brunei? They are losing. They are definitely losing. Okay, I'm interested in launching these at this point then. Get in there. Are these guys going? Insufficient naval supremacy in Java. Okay. That's fine, I guess. What are we at in Java C? That should actually be perfectly fine for naval supremacy. Okay, yeah, they're going now too. Perfect. So we'll get some invasions going on over here. We'll grab this, and then I see that there's crossings all the way over at least to here. I'm not sure if there's a cross... Oh yeah, there is a crossing here. Perfect. So that gets us onto the quote-unquote mainland for Majapahit. Excellent. And that takes all of this territory from them too. I don't think there's a crossing here. Actually, no, this is one province. Fine. We will absolutely take that. Okay, so these guys are on their way in over here, and we've got that under control. So this army will go ahead and take everything over here. So let's just go ahead and do an offensive line, something like this. Actually, we don't even need to do this. Like, let's just delete this offensive line, and let's tell these guys that they are just going to come over here, and these others are going to come over here. And these guys are going to walk here. These guys are just going to walk up over this way. Wonderful. We see that Majapahit is responding, as of course expected. However, we're going to get this location over here. Now, we definitely want to immediately begin construction on naval bases in this backline. Fantastic. Okay, more naval base construction time. There we go. And these guys will just move their way back over here. And then we'll have this front line over here. Okay. We need to make sure that we have naval bases over here as well. I'm not sure if this connects in terms of the supply lines, but we do need naval bases over here. Let's see. I don't think this connects up. Oops. Hello, pause menu. Okay. All of these guys now can be assigned back over to this. There we go. And then these tanks, as soon as they arrive here, will turn around and come back to the front. There we go. Perfect. Now, this front, we want to make sure that we have a front line, or rather an offensive line, that is past this victory point. Here would be kind of ideal for right now. Go ahead and execute that. And in the meantime, we want to make sure that we are building all of the naval bases that we can back here. We also want to make sure that we are putting a fallback line right here. Okay. Let these guys continue to move. And we should be grabbing these locations quite shortly. Almost there. There we go. Okay. So we have all of this now, and let's just make sure that we have naval dockyards, or rather, naval bases over here. Excellent. Build all the naval bases. That is our current goal. These guys are currently moving to here. That is fine. Now, this, I believe, is entirely unconnected. So we're going to have this army begin to plan a naval invasion, except that they can't because there are no naval bases on this island. Awkward. Okay. Well, we'll see how this plays out. There are no naval bases over here, so we have no supplies here currently. I'm also noticing that our front line appears to have disappeared. So that's awkward. We do want to start constructing naval bases here, as well as land forts, to continue our fallback line. And I'm wondering why we don't have a front line here. I think we do, it's just pretending to not exist. Okay. Seems fine. We'll get these supplies in very soon. We'll have no real problem with that. Okay. Wait. How could they have naval invaded this if they don't have naval supremacy? How did they do this? I don't know. Regardless, we'll continue our attacks over here, and they will eventually attrition their way out of here. Let's look at their manpower one last time here. They are down to 9.54. They are up in manpower. Okay. Well, their supplies certainly can't maintain this. Free India is continuing to lose ground over here, but our invasion over here is going very, very well indeed. We do have one level of land fort here, and we should start seeing naval bases pop up over here relatively soon. It's going to take some time still. Okay. However, we are still building a few naval bases, or one final naval base up here, which means that our supply level is increasing, but it'll max out at 96, so that is okay. We do have an unassigned division here, and we're going to pop them over to here. And we'll just get those over there ASAP. Then we do have another... No, we don't have another unassigned division. Ideal. Well, we will eventually take this. Eventually. In the meantime, we are, of course, attacking Megacampaign, and I do want to get a naval invasion over here. It is time to put a cut in here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, but before I go, I kind of want to wait until we start getting some of these naval bases so that I can issue some orders that I want to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the outro now while we are waiting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and let's get these naval bases constructed. It won't be much longer. They're just letting this happen, and that is great for us. We're going to be able to push all the way up here pretty soon. Now, Free India does apparently... they're attacking through Kalachuris. That makes sense. They're going to have a hard time pushing that, but that's completely fine. So we are, at this point... there's our first naval base. So now we have some supplies on the way in here. That is great. And we have some over here as well. That is via the victory point. However, we are ready to begin planning our invasion over here. Unless Free India is already on it, we will do a naval invasion from here to there. No, I don't want to delete that. Excellent. And with that, it is past time to put that cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will see you all next time.